Hey guys, what's going on? This is your boy Christian Israel, and you are tuning in to the New Creation Capital podcast. Today is April 10th. Happy Good Friday to all my Christians out there. This is a place where we discuss what happens in the world today, where we talk about the stories that focus on current events, the stock market, and digital assets. This is a new you, a new future, and a new creation. Speaking of a new creation, today's story is fire. We are talking about the bill that is starting to circulate around the social media sphere about the Treasury Dollar bill of 2020. We will dive into that. Of course, before we do those things, you guys can listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Breaker, Google Podcasts, Pocket Casts, Radio Public, Spotify, and of course, the Anchor platform where you guys can partner with us or leave us a message right then and there. You can kind of go to the Anchor podcast, or you can go to, of course, YouTube, where you can find all of our videos. We do audible podcasts for all those people who are just listening. But if you're a visual learner and you want to see what we're talking about, we throw it up here on YouTube. And of course, you can also converse with us on our Twitter at New Creation Cap. And real quick, shout out to Mr. Woody Page, who followed us today. Shout out to Mr. Woody Page. Before we dive into today's story, let's take a quick look at the markets. And I just want to say we all saw a little bit of movement. And I just want to show you guys right now, we are sitting at, looks to be 69.12 in Bitcoin. We were in a short since 7,400 here. Made a little bit of profit. Now we have closed our short and we're waiting for some movement here. So we're still in that upward channel, as you guys can see, but this is not as financial advice. I just like to show you guys what is going on in specifically Bitcoin, because a lot of people who listen to this channel are Bitcoin traders or XRP. So I want to keep today's nice and short because it is Good Friday. And yesterday, boy, oh boy, yesterday I had food poisoning. I went on a walk yesterday. The day before, I went on a crazy walk yesterday. I did it again, and as I got home, I guess I left the food out or something and decided just to grab it, throw it in the microwave. I am a single man who lives at home. I do not have a wife, and I wish I would have. She probably would have said, "No, what are you doing?" I put it, ate it, thought it tasted a little funny. Followed up by donuts, some oranges, and just a completely unhealthy diet yesterday after working out. And about 2 hours later, it was the worst next 7 hours that followed that. No need for details, but it was horrible. So any of you guys that ever had food poisoning, I am sorry. And I've never had food poisoning before. That was my first. And I just wanted to share that with you because today I am feeling great. I am feeling great about the news. I'm feeling great about what is going on. So let's jump on into today's story. Today's story is about the Treasury Dollar Act of 2020. Now, this specific thing is written on papers.ssrn.com, and you'll see it here. Now, this was posted on April 7th, but written March 27th by Robert C. Hocking, who is from the Cornell University Law School. So, again, I don't know. Let me say this right now. I have no 100% certain that this is actually in the Senate or this is actually a bill presented to the House of Representatives. But what I do know is that the people who write these things up come from a Cornell, a Harvard, a Yale, and then it goes into, then it moves, okay? So we're going to go over this a little bit, just the abstract aspect of it, the main things, and then go down and look at the real bill and close out. Today, I expect a slightly shorter podcast today, mainly because it is Good Friday. I will not be putting out a podcast tomorrow. I will be taking the day off. I will be resting tomorrow. And then on Sunday, we will have the Sunday scriptures, and he has risen, of course, so we will fire at that. In the meantime, let's dive right on into this story here. So it says here, let's highlight the first paragraph. It says, this bill would convert the Department of Treasury's existing Treasury Direct system of universally available transaction accounts and Treasury securities into a publicly administered digital savings and payments platform. A platform of this type is essential to public utility, hence a requirement of justice in a commercial society or exchange economy such as our own. It is also growth promoting, and as such, as growth tracking GDP is a measure of transaction volume, while transaction volume in turn is a positive function of speedier, more efficient, and more inclusive transacting. In this case, The prescribed system amounts both to a justice gain and to an efficiency gain. So basically talking about moving from what we have now over to a digital dollar ran by the Justice Department, ran by the Treasury, ran by the government, not the Federal Reserve. All right, so he says here, the bill prescribes achievement of its aim through two surprisingly simple steps, enabling full specification of what it mandates in only 2 pages of exclusive of findings and definitions. Okay, so let's go into number 1. First, Treasury is instructed to issue a new class of zero coupon perpetual Treasury bill, the Treasury Dollar bill, or Treasury Dollar, valued at precisely 1 Federal Reserve note, also known as the dollar bill, per Treasury Dollar. The Treasury Dollar is deemed legal tender, sufficient to discharge all obligations, public and private, on par with Federal Reserve notes. It is in effect identical to the Federal Reserve note, again, the current dollar bill, in respect of all attributes save its issuer. So saying, if we were to move over to the Treasury Dollar Act, okay, or just the Treasury Dollar, yes, we still have the Federal Reserve note, right? As for you guys know that in 1933, when the Federal Reserve was created, they were originally backed by gold and backed by the government with their gold. The Federal Reserve, again, is not a part of the government. It's brilliant they use the word federal because sheeps of the world don't understand that it's really private bank institutions came and had a nice little meeting down in Alabama, created the Federal Reserve, said they would just print money and help the government save on their gold. 1971, Nixon took us off the gold standard, and now the only thing that backs the dollar bill is the dollar bill, which is why we are printing. This is saying that we're going to move over to the Treasury Dollar Act to have the Treasury Dollar, the Treasury Dollar bill, in replace of the Federal Reserve note, also known as what we call the dollar bill now. It will be equal, so dollar for dollar, but eventually what we talked about yesterday when we talked about the digital yuan, we're going to take that cash out of circulation and it's going to move to something else. What is it going to move to? It says here, second, Treasury is instructed to add phone accessible digital wallet capability to all Treasury direct accounts, such as to enable direct peer-to-peer transaction in real time, both among all wallet holders inter se and between wallet holders and public fisc. The U.S. Digital Service, as executive agency housed within the Executive Office of the President of the United States, is instructed to design and implement the digital wallet capability in collaboration with the Treasury. Remember, we talked about that in episode 2, 3, and 4, right? I do believe it was episode 2, 3, and 4. We talked about the digital dollar and the COVID-19. And then here, episode 3, 4, and 5. Was the digital dollar planned? Was it planned? Okay, that is the catch. Was it planned? So now we're seeing it in action. We're seeing this bill in action saying the Treasury is going to take over. It's going to be ran under the President of the United States, right now, President Trump. And with that, we're going to move the fiat of the Federal Reserve out of circulation slowly, and anyone who has a phone will be able to have a digital wallet on their phone for peer-to-peer real-time payments for holders in collaboration with the Treasury. Now, you've been hearing the word real-time payments. We didn't really discuss about JP Morgan's real-time payments, Wells Fargo real-time payments, Bank of America real-time payments, all using interoperability for intermittent cross-border payments on the distributed ledger technology that is ran by Ripple Labs using the asset XRP. This is what it's talking about, how it's going to incorporate it. We've been kind of functioning mainly on the money aspect and tracking and how that works. But it's right there, guys. It is plain as day. They are telling us how they're going to do it, what they're going to do it. And when this passes, I'm 95% sure the COVID-19 thing will be over once our financial system is set and we are back on a digital currency system. All of a sudden, I think we'll be okay. Let's continue to see what it says. It says here, in addition to all citizens and legal residents of the United States, all businesses too will receive Treasury Direct wallets, and all bank and thrift institutions will be required as a condition of chartering to afford the same access to ATM, e-banking, and other services to customers transacting in Treasury dollars as they do to customers transacting in Federal Reserve notes. Basically, kiss the Federal Reserve bye. Treasury is going to take over. Again, I forgot what president was. We got rid of the Federal Reserve once way back in the day, and now we're back, and now we got to get back on the gold standard. The world is going to go back on the gold standard. We're going to go digital. We're going to be, as Trump likes to say, on a level playing field where the dollar is the dollar no matter where you are. When you take the dollar and move it to the Mexican peso, it's the same equal. You don't have to do all that charge and move, the pound, the ruby, whatever currency you are moving to, it's going to be equal. We don't have to worry about it going up and down, so your money is good wherever you go. And here it's saying, hey, banks, you're going to do what we say if you want to be chartered and backed by us. You're going to accept the ATMs, the e-banking, just like you would with the Federal Reserve notes, also the current dollar bill that we have. Okay, let's continue. Almost done with this part. What the bill prescribes is not as exotic as some might first think. In the roughly 70 years between the banking, currency, and legal tender acts of the Civil War era and the founding, then no issuance of the Federal Reserve System well into the 20th century, Treasury issued the nation's primary currencies, right? Remember I said the Federal Reserve came and then it was gone and it came back because the first federal notes were actually by the Treasury. It's how America used to do it before the banks got involved, okay? It says here, best known among them, the greenback, hence the name of the Treasury Office, which serves as one of our three primary bank regulators, the comptroller of the currency. We talked about that. The lawyer who used to be the lawyer of Coinbase, right? Regulation of Coinbase, the platform where we can buy and trade cryptocurrency. The Treasury hired him, and now he's the head of the comptroller. We talked about this too in a previous episode, who now works under Steven Mnuchin. That happened a month and a half ago, guys. I'm telling you, I'm trying to open people's eyes that the system is changing, the system is moving, and get on board. You can make an investment here, and it will just change your life. Again, here at New Creation Capital, we work with investment. We do financial planning one-on-one based on contracts. So what you listen here in this podcast is not financial advice. This is a one-on-one agreement between parties when you come and sit down with us. That's what we do, and we would 100% point you to here, gold, silver, and some other things. But guys, when you see a financial switch, a fourth industrial revolution switch like this, it is big, and they're not hiding it. They're telling us in plain sight. Guys, this is what we're doing. The question is, are you going to believe it? Or are you going to wake up one morning and go, man, I wish I would have. I wish I would have invested in Google. I wish I would have invested in Apple. I wish I would have invested in Microsoft. I wish I would have bought XRP at 19 cents. I wish I would have bought, there's people out there that said, I wish I would have bought Bitcoin at $5. I wish I would have bought Bitcoin at $700. I wish I would have bought Bitcoin at $1,500. Pretty soon they're going to be saying, I wish I bought Bitcoin at $6,000. Right, guys? Or Ethereum. I wish I would have bought Ethereum at $150 when it hit $1,250 last bull run. I wish. Or Chainlink, or Dash, or whatever your currency may be. This is it. What currency, what digital asset, what company is working with all the regulators to move to a digital money world? Utility, folks. What drives price? Utility. Utility. And right there it says, what this bill institutes is accordingly no more than the restoration of the currency issue authority, in parallel with the Fed's continuing such authority to our more democratically accountable Treasury. In other words, the Fed has no accountability. The Treasury will hold accountability. Last but not least in this part, it says, where new issuance is concerned, Congress may choose to limit the use of this authority to crisis situations in which immediate helicopter money drops are necessary. Helicopter drops, we hear that a lot. That's basically, I have a phone, and boom, dropped, ding, immediately. There's only one digital asset that moves your money within 3 to 5 seconds. One. There's only one. And if you try to say moving Bitcoin is fast, yes, it's fast compared to the banking system right now, ACH transfers. It's fast compared to trying to take my gold and ship it. But if I am moving XRP from me to you, by the time I hit enter, it is in your, literally, it's probably in your wallet before you're able to open your wallet and check if you have it. It is crazy fast. Real-time payments, guys. Real-time payments. Not Swift. Swift is the 40-year-old thing that they talk about, right? We are now using the R3 Corridor X Rapid, Ripple Labs. That who's pushing it. Why do you think the small startup fintech company has been valued at $10 billion, guys. That's because they're backed by BlackRock. They're backed by Accenture. They're backed by the State Bank of New York. Steve Mnuchin is backing Ripple. The IMF is backing Ripple. The Bank of England, the Bank of China, the Bank of India, Saudi Arabia's banks, Santander, PNC, Bank of America. They all are working with Ripple because they saw this coming. They saw it coming. So they've been doing this for a while. And it says here, which immediate helicopter money drops are necessary or may authorize more continuous use for it for periodic disbursements of other kinds. In such cases, Treasury will, of course, have to coordinate with the Fed to avoid any possible disbursement cost, instability of the national money supply. They don't want to have to just be printing money crazily. They want to make sure we're all good. What matters most at present is that the architecture be in place so that all citizens, legal residents, and business operating in the United States have immediate access to savings and payment service fees free of charge. Use of paper currency does not require fee payments. Neither should the use of digital currency. You know how much it costs to move XRP? No matter the amount, less than 1 penny. Virtually free. Does not cost less than 1 penny. You can move 1 million XRP, still less than a penny. Try doing that with Bitcoin. When you buy Bitcoin on Coinbase right now, you buy $5,000 worth of Bitcoin or something like that. I think the charge is like 3%, 4%. Try holding money in your bank account right now. I just got some kind of maintenance fee charge of $5 all of a sudden for nothing in a savings account. Like, why are you even charging me? What's a maintenance fee? You charge every one of my accounts that. Virtually no thing, and neither should the use of a digital currency. So when we dive into the actual PDF, this is what it looks like. You see it's the Hockett draft, and this is the draft. And when you go in here a little bit, it says the findings of Congress finds that, and it goes into the gist of what's happening. And you continue to scroll down. There's something here I want you to see. The Treasury also maintains a system of Treasury direct accounts open to all citizens, legal residents of the United States, which account holders can transact in Treasury securities with the Treasuries 24/7, anytime, day or night. You can't do that with banks right now. You cannot be with the banks 24/7. Anybody who trades in the cryptocurrency market knows cryptocurrency market does not close. It doesn't close like the stock market. It doesn't open and close like the NASDAQ, any of that. Man, I was up after my food poisoning yesterday. I was up looking at my trade up at 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning to check a trade. It doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. And it says here, point 6, the United States is in need of a universal, inclusive, and efficient real-time means transmitting purchasing power to citizens, legal residents, and businesses that suffer the income and liquidity consequences of crisis-wrought monetary, financial, and macroeconomic contractions. All right? What else it says? Something else here. Let's see. Okay, so it goes through the definitions, and this is where the Senate and the Congress will fill in what an account holder is, what a bank holder is, what a banking associate, what a coupon is, digital wallet. You see here, by the way, there's that word interoperability. We know that left and right. Okay, so here's the Treasury notes. Congress shall authorize and instruct the Department of Treasury to issue a new class of Treasury bill to be signed as a Treasury Dollar bill, abbreviated as the Treasury Dollar. We talked about that already, right? Let's see, there's one part left, and here it is. E-banking, phone banking, credit card, debit card, automatic teller machines, which is an ATM, and other banking services pursuant to Section 4B of this Act declaring Treasury dollars to be legal tender. No state or national charter, banking association, or thrift institution shall discriminate between Treasury dollars and Federal Reserve dollars or their digitally equivalent in administering the electronic banking, e-banking, phone, or other device banking, credit and debit card, automatic teller, ATM, or other traditional banking service they offer. So basically, when we go for live with this, you can't turn it down. We're basically moving away from the Fed, moving towards the Treasury. And now it goes here, part C, it talks about digital account wallets. The Treasury shall, with all deliberate speed, add digital peer-to-peer interoperability to all Treasury direct accounts, enabling all account holders to transact directly in real time, both with the Treasury and the other excuse me. Real time both with the Treasury and with one another, so that account holders without savings or transactions accounts held with other institutions, include banking associations and thrift institutions, can transact directly both with the Treasury and with one another in real time through their Treasury Direct account wallets. So let me put you that. Basically, everyone can interact, even those who are unbanked. Banking the unbanked through real-time digital peer-to-peer interoperability payments directly to each person through their digital wallets. That sound familiar? Retain the services of the U.S. Digital Service to design the peer-to-peer interoperability digital account wallets referenced in subsection C1 of this section immediately above. And hacking proof. Yep, we go through that. And that might be the last part of this. Let's see. Here we go. Last but not least. Treasury disbursements into digital account wallets. After the system of digital account wallets described in subsection CE of this subsection of operational Treasury. Don't you love language? Treasury shall make all future digital or electronic disbursements, including but not limited to crisis relief payments, into these account wallets, with the object of encouraging wide use of this system as the preferred, universally accessible digital payments platform for all e-payments made in the United States. The goal of this is for everyone to use it. Everybody. Yes, the crisis is nice. We're going to step our foot in there and we're going to start, but we're going to use it. The Federal Reserve note. What do you guys think? Treasury Act of 2020. Interesting, right? Digital wallets moving forward. I think, as I said before, you've heard a lot of people say before, 2020 is the year of the digital currency. And we are moving, folks. We are moving, folks. What do you guys think? I don't know. Hit me up on my Twitter, @NewCreationCap. You can hit me up on our YouTube. Make sure you hit the little subscribe button. Follow us. Let us know. Of course, we have our Anchor platform where you can find us on Apple Podcasts, Breaker, Google Podcasts, Pocket Casts, Radio Public, Spotify, and of course, the Anchor platform, a place where you can come and support us. You can message us and hit us up. And of course, the Publish OX blog site where if you're a digital currency person, open up your own currency spot and people tip you when they read the articles. You can see these little tips are in BAT tokens, and someone reads it, you get tipped, and it's a way to make money. I mean, I use the Brave browser right now, and I'm making BAT tokens as I use the Brave browser. So I don't know, but what do you guys think of that? Is that crazy to you? The Treasury Dollar? I think it's right on topic. I mean, you heard all the language being used: real-time payments, interoperability, digital wallets, comptroller, peer-to-peer payments. What else are the other keywords there? Helicopter drops. I mean, it's all there. It's all there. There it is, guys. So before we close, let's look and see what's going on in the market. See if I can get a quick reload here. See what's going on in the market. We are, let's see, it's loading. We are sitting at 69.16. So we're still just chilling right now. We're setting. Nothing crazy in this market. I don't think I actually have what is going on in the actual stock market. So I believe the stock market is closed. So let's see what has happened. So in the Dow right now, it looks like we closed up 1.22% at 23,719. The S&P closed up 1.45% at 2789. The Nasdaq finished up 0.77% at 8153. The global Dow finished up 0.12% at 2584. Gold finished up at 3.32% and sitting at 1752. And of course, oil is down again at 7.7%, down to $22.76. So I hope you guys have really enjoyed being a part of this podcast. As always, I like to close you guys out with some scripture. Nothing too crazy. I want to just make sure that you guys enjoy your weekend. I want to make sure that you guys enjoy your Easter. I know a lot of people cannot go to church today, but you can always go online. Make sure you guys spend time online, pray, do those things. So here is the scripture that I will read for you. This is Jesus' prayers to all of the believers. This is in John 17, verse 20, and it goes like this. My prayer is not for them alone. I pray also for those who believe in me through their message, that all of them may be one. Father, just as one are in me and I am in you. May they also be in us, so that the world may believe that you have sent me. I have given them the glory that you gave me, that they may be one as we are one. Excuse me. I in them and you in me, so that they may be brought to complete unity. Then the world will know that you sent me and have loved them even as you loved me. Father, I want those who have given me to be with me where I am and to see my glory. The glory you have given me because you loved me before the creation of the world. Righteous Father, though the world does not know you, I know you, and they know that you have sent me. I have made you known to them and will continue to make you known in order that the love you have for me may be in them and that I myself may be in them. I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful day. Again, this is the New Creation Capital Podcast. My name is Christian Israel. This is a place where we discuss what happens in the world today, where we talk about stories that focus on current events, the stock market, and digital assets. As I always like to say, guys, make sure you buy low and sell high. This is a new you, a new future, and a new creation. Happy Easter, everybody. Happy Good Friday, everybody. Until next time, guys, peace and love. Later.